Today we're building a very special engine to me. It is a 5-liter engine that resembles the 5-liter Coyote engine, and as the thumbnail suggests, yes, it is supercharged. But before we get into that, I quickly want to speak on a few common suggested videos that are unfortunately not going to be happening just due to my system that I have currently can't run BeamNG at an efficient pace where I can do videos and also play the game simultaneously. Now what does this mean? It means I'm trying to focus more on the automation content and less on the BeamNG content, because BeamNG unfortunately is a pretty graphic demanding game, especially whenever you go to bigger tracks and stuff of that nature. Now what does this mean for the future? I don't know if I'm ever gonna play it again, but it will probably make a comeback in the near future, of course. So I quickly wanted to get it out of the way. So anybody who has requested a vehicle or chassis being built in automation and then exported to BeamNG is I'll show the chassis and test it in automation's test track, so to speak. But as for automation right now, it's a definite, well, it's indefinitely going to be no for the future, so to speak. So I know that sounds like a lot of word mixing and a lot of spewing of crap, so to speak, but yeah, let's get to this engine because I see we're making good power. So thank you for listening, and yeah, let's get into this. As you can see here, we're already making 1045 horsepower, and we're only on a very small supercharger, only at 3.5 liters or 3500 cc's displacement on the supercharger, which to some people sounds pretty crazy. But also remember, there's companies like VMP and also Frankenstein, all those supercharger companies that make superchargers. You can't forget about BDS and also Magnus. I think it's Magnus and Magnum or Magnus and blowers, superchargers, something of sort. I'm not a software lane expert. I'm just a dude on the internet, and I'm having fun. Now we're making we're making 1300 horsepower right now, 1400 if it lives on rev limiter. So I think that's not too terrible considering this engine is only 5 liters or 302 cubic inches big. I think we can get a little bit out of this thing. I'm hoping for around 1800 horsepower to 2000 horsepower. I think that would be a reasonable amount of horsepower for this engine. So it is going along pretty smoothly. I'm surprised we've not had anything explode yet. I might be speaking too soon, but we'll see. So okay, alright, so it's a little more. Alright, that's starting to look good. See, one thing I figured out about the supercharger is whenever you mess with the supercharger ratio and also the supercharger tune, will highly affect whether or not this thing decides to keep running and also not explode. If you have one too high, the other one is going to suffer, and vice versa. The other thing is cam profile starts playing a bigger role, as well as cam timing or timing advancements in general. It starts to play a big role in these types of engine, as well as of course compression, just due to the fuel type as well as the displacement and so on. Also the boost, that's the other critical thing. We're only running 1.7 bar of boost, which is quite a lot for this engine, so I'm gonna up the supercharger gear ratio a little more just to say that there's our first failure. So I think that is due to the supercharger tune. It might be slightly above what we need, so a little more boost is probably gonna do that again. So we're pretty close to my number. 1800 horsepower is coming up real quick. If I can tune an engine properly, or a supercharger properly, it would be nice. So let's try a little more supercharger tune. Go back to the top end, stiffen, or yeah, it's not really necessary to stiffen springs and lifters. I am, however, going to lower the compression a little more, because we're over 1800 horsepower. I'm pretty happy about that. See if how far I can go without this engine while eating itself. Let's see. A little more cam profile is needed. Let's go back, increase our boost again. It's gonna throw a few errors. We'll fix those as we go along. And as always, if you have any viewer suggested engines you would love to see being built on the channel, considering that we have superchargers, twin turbochargers, the whole list is there, but yeah. As it stands right now, this engine looks pretty damn good. So as I said, you can pop your suggestions down in the comment section down below. I love reading you guys' comments, and I'll probably try and make as many comments work, their engines work as much as possible. So as always, thank you so much for your suggestions, and I'll do my best to honor them. For now, let's try and make a little more horsepower out of this engine. I don't think there's going to be much to get out of it anymore. We're close to 1900 horsepower if I can tune the supercharger properly, but we'll see. I think the exhaust is going to start becoming restrictive. I don't think it's going to be too restrictive, but we'll see. Timing a little more, can we get in it? Yeah. Don't want to run too much time in this engine. It's not going to like it very much. So I'm going to leave it there. We're going to do 2 dyno runs, one looking at this beautiful engine and one looking at the graphs. So let's see what this thing sounds like. I hope it's good. Wow, that thing couldn't sound even closer to the original if it probably could. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button. That's all from me for today. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye.